Hey guys, it's Rob. Let me tell you about the online cannabis company that's revolutionizing how we deal with life's challenges, whether it be sleepless nights or stress-filled days. Mood.com. They've created an entire line of functional gummies that target specific health concerns, and it's 100% federally legal THC blends, so they'll deliver them discreetly right to your doorstep. I don't think I could be making this ad if this wasn't all above board. And don't forget to remind me to tell you can get 20% off your order at mood.com if you stay tuned. So if you know me, you know I'm always looking for the right gummy for the right situation, because there's a lot of different things out there and you need to know what you're getting. I've tried a bunch of their gummies myself, and it's wild how different each one feels. The Sleepy Time gummies knock me out in like 15 minutes flat, and no hangers, no grogginess like you get from some of those other sort of sleep enhancers. I wake up feeling amazing. Like you should. And their Epic Euphoria gummies, they're perfect for the days when, nothing's going right and you just need to hit the reset button on your crap mood. What makes these different is how they've paired THC and other cannabinoids with herbs and adaptogens. So you're not just going to find gummies like this in a dispensary, or anywhere for that matter. Only at mood.com. And they have gummies for literally everything: immune support, menopause relief, PMS symptoms, mental clarity, sexual arousal. So Rich is going to love that one. Each one is crafted using federally legal cannabis grown on small, family-owned American farms. No pesticides, no BS, and they can ship to most states in the U.S. Best of all, not only does Mood stand behind everything with an industry-leading 100-day satisfaction guaranteed. Oh, thanks for reminding me. Yeah, you can get 20% off your first order at Mood.com with promo code THEN AND NOW. So head to Mood.com, browse their amazing collection, and see what's best for you. What's the perfect gummy for whatever you're dealing with? And remember to use the promo code THEN AND NOW at checkout to save 20% on your first order.
Hey friends, this is Audie Cornish, host of CNN This Morning and The Assignment, and guess what? Every story you care about, every angle you want unpacked is now streaming on CNN. That means you can catch my show or other CNN programming whenever you want on your favorite device. And a subscription also gets you access to exclusive video series and unlimited articles. So subscribe to CNN at cnn.com/subscription.
In 2005, two brothers hit the road in search of their father and wound up fighting demons, angels, monsters, and fate itself.
Over the next 15 years, Supernatural became more than just a TV show. It became a family with one of the most passionate fan bases in the world.
I'm Rob Benedict. I played Chuck Shirley. You might also know me as God.
And I'm Richard Speight Jr. I played Loki, the Trickster, and Gabriel. And I also directed more than a few episodes.
Now, we spent years making this show, but we never actually sat down to watch every single episode in order until now.
And that means that each week we're watching Supernatural from the beginning, now diving into Season 8, the year of purgatory, prophets, and the pursuit to close the gates of hell. And we'll be joined by cast, writers, directors, and the crew who help bring each episode to life.
You'll hear behind-the-scenes stories, our honest reactions, and maybe learn a little about how television gets made along the way.
Now, I'm warning you, there are going to be spoilers. And remember, this is our first time truly watching the series, so if we miss a detail or don't remember what happens 3 seasons from now, well, that's part of the fun.
So join us as we keep the engine running, hit the open road, and fall even deeper in love with Supernatural. Hey, everybody, it's Rob Benedict.
And I am Richard Speight Jr.
And we're talking about Season 8, Episode 3, Heartache.
Oh, what's wrong, Barty?
I don't know. It's just I woke
called
up.
You Barty. What's wrong, Billy Barty?
That. I was feeling great, then you called me Barty, and my heart hurt.
But it's funny, you basically said the episode's called
Heartache.
Yeah. It sounds like you did. It's called Sad Clown.
Exactly. Well, and if it was, I would have said it like that.
I know.
You know, many of our awesome video interviews with the cast are also featured on Patreon.
What?
Did you know that? Yeah.
I should consider subscribing.
I know. That was news to me, too. It's taken me 8 seasons to realize that. So Patreon is where it's at. Please consider subscribing.
I'm thinking about it right now. I really am.
Well, there you go. See, Richard's going to think about it. So why don't you think about it? We appreciate the support. Everyone who subscribes to Patreon, your support goes towards making it so that we can continue doing this podcast. So we appreciate it.
We want you to be a part of the family of this podcast, and that includes a lot of bonus material, videos, live stream episodes, a lot of great stuff, and it's all on the Patreon site. Go check it out. Join up. You'll be glad you did.
Indeed.
Now that we've said that, should we get into the heart and soul of what we do, which is step one, summarize the episode. Robert?
Yeah. Heartache. And here's the summary of Heartache. Sam is grocery shopping at a farmer's market.
I already don't like it. Already, this is a dumb episode.
While Dean reads news on his phone. 2 murders in Minneapolis, 6 months apart. Both victims had their hearts ripped out. Sam wants to stay focused on finding Kevin, but Dean argues that they're getting nowhere. So let's have this episode, which doesn't get us anywhere further in the Kevin thing.
Let's not move the ball forward.
Yeah. In Minneapolis, police tell them that a jogger named Paul Hayes was seen running past the victim on camera. That was such a weird scene.
Yeah, super weird.
Paul repeats to Sam and Dean that he didn't know the guy. He just jogged past him in the park. That's not true.
It's a lie. We know it's a lie.
Yeah. Dean points out that Paul is older and not as fit.
Which is also kind of jerky.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah. How did he outrun the victim? Paul says he had a health scare a year ago and became a gym rat.
Okay. All right.
And he loves his like green shakes.
Smoothies. Yeah.
Later, Dean finds another news story. 2 days after the Minneapolis murder, a similar one happened in Ames, Iowa. Same pattern, 6 months ago. Sam missed the connection. In Ames, the suspect, Arthur Swenson, was found covered in blood at the scene. He couldn't have been in Minneapolis. He was in court that day. The brothers try to interview Arthur, but he just mutters a phrase in an unknown language over and over. Dean notes Arthur has mismatched eyes. I thought maybe it was that condition that people have where they...
I thought he was David Bowie.
Like David Bowie has.
No, I thought he was David Bowie, and I thought he was going to be revealed to us later in the episode.
That's crazy that they would have gotten David Bowie to act in this episode.
I know, but hey, money means nothing over there.
Well, they test him for possession, but the holy water doesn't hurt him. Back at their motel, Dean records the phrase and tries to translate it. The result is unknown language. Sam gets a call. Arthur has ripped out his transplanted eye. The doctor says it was donated a year ago. Sam reveals that Paul also got an organ a year ago, a kidney. Sam sent Arthur's audio to Professor Morrison to analyze. Remember Professor Morrison? Me neither, but in the last episode, he was a professor that helped him out with something. Dean says they should head to Boulder, Colorado, the next city where this same pattern happened. Now, how does he know? This episode really confused me.
Yeah, I think he tracked the body parts or the organs and knew where they'd been shipped out, I think.
What organs? Whose organs?
Billy Barty, whatever the guy's name is, who's the football player.
But where is he? How do we know he's even part of this?
Well, they discovered that the football player died of unknown causes. No, died of suicide or something. They harvested his organs. So now all the organs are haunted, possessed. And so they have to, Dean is tracking where all the organs went.
Okay. I missed that part. I was really like, how did he know? Okay.
It reminded me of you because there are certain organs you will follow to the end of the earth.
Like a church organ or just because I like keyboards. Boulder, Colorado is going to be the next. I still don't understand why that will be the next one. Like, how do they know if all the organs went out to separate places? How do they know chronologically which one's going to happen next?
I don't know. And he even said, like, that it only makes sense that it'll be in Colorado. I had no idea what that line meant.
Right.
To your point, like, why now? Why not simultaneously? Why not 2 years from now? Like, I'm with you. I was confused too.
So on the road, Dean tells Sam that being back in the hunt feels right. This is where he belongs. Sam pushes back. Maybe they want different lives.
Well, pick a lane, Dean. You wanted him back. Now you don't want him back? Yeah. Jeez.
Their argument is interrupted by a phone call. It's not Arthur's eye. But Arthur's eye and Paul's kidney came from the same donor. Pro quarterback Brick Holmes.
That's who it is.
Who died in a car accident. Dean still wants to head to Boulder. Brick lived there. Why? Again, how did he know Boulder before they found that information out?
I don't know. Because he must have played for the
But they didn't know. They didn't know it was Brick until just right now.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
Meanwhile, a woman named Miranda leaves the strip club in Boulder, flirts with a man in the alley who's creepy. Creepy guy.
Really creepy. And I didn't get that either. Like, he's just standing there. Is he a super fan that he's like waiting for her to come out the back door?
Yeah.
Like, it was very strange. It felt like she was a lady of the night and he was her John, or he was a regular stalker and he was always out there going, you're a great show.
Yeah.
I couldn't really figure out the relationship there.
Totally. I didn't know exactly what. Then, she rips his heart out. Later, she performs a ritual, eats the heart, and her chest grows red. Sam and Dean visit Brick's mother, Eleanor Holmes, who stonewalls them. Dean checks his phone, another heartless murder in Boulder. After they leave, Randa arrives. She tells Eleanor she's honoring Brick's legacy. Brick's heart, now inside Randa.
Oh, hold on a second. Whoa. You lost me.
I know, I'm lost. This episode very much confused me.
So they confront Eleanor. Wait. Where are we in this stage?
Okay, the stripper comes out. The horny guy is there.
Right. She takes his heart.
So he had the fake heart. He had Brick's heart.
Wait, that's what we think?
Well, she eats the heart, and then she comes back and says, I've got his heart inside me, and it's awakened her.
But why did she need his heart? What was her tie to the whole thing to start with?
Okay, so Randa had a heart transplant, the stripper.
Yes.
Which you think maybe the scar might be bad for business, but whatever. They fixed that. They've got good surgeons these days.
No follow-up questions, Your Honor.
The stripper has a new heart. And then she eats the guy's heart.
Right.
But you understand why that was confusing for me. She says,
I still think it's confusing right now. We're looking at a summary of it, and I think it's confusing. So she had a heart transplant, by the way, at a very young age, and then has the guy's heart, has to eat hearts, which is also confusing, to feed the
And then
beast.
after she eats the heart, she says, I've got his heart in me now. And that's why I was like, whose heart?
Right.
Sam hears back, Arthur was speaking in ancient Mayan. The divine god Cacao was born.
Chocolate.
Yeah, so chocolate, which is good in a smoothie. Little cacao nibs.
Cacao's delicious, used correctly, it's an antioxidant.
In some circles, they call you cacao nib.
They do.
Dean says the next victim should be in Phoenix. And the next Phoenix organ recipient, Jimmy Tang, is missing. Dean also, why does he know? How? Anyway, Dean also spots an email to Sam from a college admissions office. Sam changes the subject. Uh-oh.
Well, that's just one of those, who cares? You know, how they know it was Phoenix? Yeah, dude, there's so much confusing.
At the Holmes house that night, they break in. Wait, what's the Holmes house? The Holmes house, that's where...
Brick Holmes.
Yeah, Brick's house, yeah.
Yeah.
They find 2 closets in the master bedroom. Oh, you're always in the closet. You get this.
I'm just now getting the joke that his name is Brick Holmes.
Oh, like a brick house?
Brick house. Brick house. Yeah.
At the Holmes house that night, they break in. They find 2 closets in the master bedroom, one for Eleanor and one for Brick.
Which is creepy because it's her son and...
Or is it?
Ooh.
They find hair dye and a hidden door to a room filled with sports gear from different eras. Sam finds old letters, all signed the same way, dating back decades. The newest reads, so tired of it all. Sam researches old athletes and finds faces identical to Brick's going back to at least 1937.
This is a red flag for me because in the world of pro sports, if there's athletes that look like each other, the news would have found that
like
long time ago. And like, hey, he's the spitting image of short fielder. You know what I mean? Like
the old short fielder.
Short fielder. I was looking at shortstop or infielder. I combined them. But you know what I mean? Like, don't you think they would have figured that out? Like they show, it's not like they showed a picture of a Civil War soldier.
Right.
And like, these are kind of in the same era. Like they're a decade or two apart, but they're not.
Yeah.
It's not like one is carved into an Egyptian tomb and one is in 1990. You know what I mean? Like, they're all kind of close.
You think it'd be an ESPN 30 for 30, Doc.
You would have figured it out. You would have been like, hey, you guys all look alike.
Dean thinks Brick cut a deal with the Mayan dog Cacao to remain alive, be a great athlete, and eat nice chocolate.
And nothing for nothing, none of those guys look like great athletes in the montage of photos.
No, they really didn't. No,
soft.
they really, really didn't. I think we could have done that better with effects today, with what we can do now with AI.
Yes.
Anyway, part of the deal that he cut with the Mayan god was sacrificing hearts twice a year.
Right.
Now, his transplanted organs are compelling people to continue the ritual. They confront Eleanor, the mom wife. She confesses that she is Betsy's, Brick's wife. He was a Mayan athlete from 1,000 years ago. Eventually tired of living forever while she aged, Brick killed himself. Eleanor says if they destroy Brick's still beating heart, now inside Randa, the curse will end.
Well, I got to say, Betsy looks great for 1,000.
Yeah, was she that old too? Or no, he met her in the 30s.
Couldn't be. He was 1,000, and then he met her somewhere along the road.
Right, and then Betsy, they fell in love. And then as she got older, they just changed, and she started saying she was his mom.
Right.
Eleanor says if they destroy Brick's still beating heart, now inside Randa, the curse will end. At the strip club, Randa and the other organ recipients overpower Sam and Dean.
Yeah, suddenly the portly jogger's there out of the blue.
Yeah, and
Jimmy Tang.
And Jimmy Tang, who we hadn't really met yet. But I couldn't remember for a second. I was like, did I miss the Jimmy Tang part?
No, they showed a picture of him in the newspaper. That was it.
Got it. Right. Randa begins to rip out Dean's heart. She really gets in there. It starts to bleed.
Yeah, by the way, this is a classic TV thing. And every single time we've seen somebody's heart get ripped out, the hand goes through the body in about a millisecond.
Yeah.
But when you got Dean on the ground, you're going to say, first of all, you're going to go, like, I'm going to do this very slowly.
Totally.
I'm really going to milk it. And then you just milk the daylights out of it.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Also, nothing for nothing, but when we saw Dean the next day, he would be like, oh, my heart, it hurts. Because she really got in there, bled.
Yeah.
No.
TV heals.
Yeah. Anyway, just as she begins to rip his heart out, Sam breaks free, Dean kills Randa, and her death kills the other recipients instantly.
Yeah.
Sam and Dean tell Eleanor it's done. Driving away, Dean is exhilarated. Sam disappoints him. After they find Kevin and the tablet, he says he's done. He liked normal life. Dean blows him off, but Sam silently remembers a birthday picnic with Amelia.
Which was the most unholy, weirdest...
It was odd. It was a bit odd.
...thing I have just about ever seen.
Is it real? I mean, I keep waiting for what are we not seeing? What's happening?
I didn't understand that. That flashback was so weird.
Yeah.
And didn't seem like a real thing at all.
No, that was weird.
So bizarre.
Yeah, I felt like a fake fantasy. Yeah.
It felt like a dream sequence, like his dog, and then his dog is running away. He's like, Sam's panicked. Don't do that, Rusty. Damn it. And then he rounds the corner, and also they slapped on the Angela Lansbury filter on this whole thing, and it's like,
I know. And
she's
like,
pink and orange, and
I baked you a cake.
Come on, sit down. Eat up. And I'm like, she's Satan. She's Satan. We're
going to find out that something's not right with all that whole business.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense.
So listen, where do we start? Well,
let's do this real quickly. Rob and Rich. Ratings. Let's start with a positive. I got a positive for you.
I thought there's some really... Jensen directed the episode. I thought...
Well, Mr. Ackles was in it.
And Mr. Ackles is in it. Yeah, playing the...
Mr. Jensen's dad. I was saying, that's a big opening salvo of positivity. Yep. Mr. Ackles is in there doing great
work, and they do it. I felt like they kind of added this in, but they added a sort of like conflict between him and the character that Mr. Ackles was playing.
Yeah,
right. Or they kind of like snap at each other. That was kind of fun. So that's good. And also at the beginning of the episode, there was a really cool shot. Did you notice the shot I'm talking about? Where like the car drives through and the camera's above and it kind of flips over as the car drives past?
No, I don't remember that.
You know what I'm talking about? You're like, the camera's above and it's like up with the trees and it's looking backwards and the car drives and it kind of flips over as the car goes through. I always feel like all of you guys, all the directors, you have got your one shot that's your sort of signature on the episode, like like it's your crane shot, or your drone shot or whatever it is. It's like I'm going to spend a little more time on this shot just to give it a little, And I feel like that was an Ackles thing. That was cool.
Cool, yeah, man. I missed that, but I'll check it out.
I'm going to say it. It's going to be the first time in many. I really, really like Sam's hair this season.
Yeah, that's kind of a recurring theme for you.
I like it. I really think he should be in Night Ranger.
In a perfect world, if he were soulless right now, would you just marry the television? Or how would you?
I'd marry the television.
Yeah.
And then we'd make sweet, sweet love.
Sweet love.
Great hair. Both boys are just sort of like, they both look fantastic right now.
We are really grasping because you are talking about Sam's hair for a long time, and then now you're hitting on Jensen, and none of these are on topic.
Randa was a good actress. I thought she was good. The stripper, I thought she was solid.
Yeah, great. Mr. Ackles again. Great seeing Mr. Ackles.
And have I mentioned Sam's hair? The episode itself was very confusing to me. I was very confused. Very confused.
Look, Patty McCormick has a long and storied resume. Who played Betsy? But I saw no emotional content in that story of her.
Oh, I didn't know her at all.
I knew her because she and I did an episode of Freddy's Nightmares when I was in college. So I knew that. But she was like in the bad seed. She's been like an actor from a kid.
It felt to me like an 80s drama.
Yeah, it felt like Airwolf.
Yeah.
Murder, She Wrote.
Murder, She Wrote. It felt like Murder, She Wrote. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with that filter on that flashback.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Yeah.
Tonally, it felt different. And I just felt like there was no stakes.
Yeah.
No emotional stakes.
Yeah.
And it was confusing.
It was a bit confusing.
And most of the episodes are not confusing.
It looked good. I feel like we're shooting. They're shooting the way they're shooting right now. It's great. We're back to sort of vintage supernatural looks. It just was not my favorite of the episodes. We're gonna only go up.
No.
From here. Rich, what else do you have to say about it?
Man, I mean, that flashback alone, I just forgot about that. I've never done acid, but I feel like I have now because that was weird and out of the blue, and I still have no idea what the hell that was about.
Yeah.
When it started, I remember thinking, oh, they're in hell or something, like, something weird's going to happen. And then it just ended with her going, come on, silly, come eat some cake. And you come back to Sam kind of emotional, and I'm like, what the bleep was that?
Yeah.
Loved seeing Mr. Ackles. If I didn't hammer that home, great seeing him.
And Sam's hair.
And Sam's hair. If we could just put Sam's hair on Mr. Ackles, it would be a perfect episode.
I'm assuming they probably did this first.
Yeah, they would do this first because Jensen directed it.
And I was thinking, and I don't know this for sure, there was one time where I was up in Vancouver. I wasn't on the show at this point, obviously, and I was up there shooting an episode of...
Murder, She Sat.
Nope. An episode of Psych. And I was on the set, and Ackles was there, location scouting for an episode.
Oh, that would be, that could be this.
And there were a lot of episodes of this where they're sort of in psych-type sets, so I wondered. Anyway, here's what I'm thinking for my beard rating. I'm going to give it to Tom Selleck because it reminds me of an 80s primetime TV show. That's what it kind of reminded me of. So I'll give it to Tom Selleck, which is the monster of all mustaches, but is not a beard. Right.
Let's see. I need a little internet help here.
The monster of mustaches. I mean, I'm not totally crapping on it and saying it's a Mr. Clean. I'm just saying it's not a beard, but it's a mustache.
I'm going to give this a, hold on, I've got it. I need help with the name. Inspired by your theme, I'm doing something similar. I'm giving this the John Waters mustache.
Ooh, wow. Yeah.
Which is just a pencil-thin mustache.
Uh-huh.
Looks great on John Waters. Very dashing, very of the time, whatever time he was trying to reflect, the 30s or 40s.
But it's not a beard.
And it's not a Selleck. It's a very small mustache.
Yeah, smaller than a Selleck.
Yeah.
So, you weren't as taken with Sam's hair as I was.
Sam's hair didn't push me over the cliff to anything. And by the way, I genuinely thought that there was no emotional content between the woman who was his bride and Brick, like that. I just felt like there's no.
Yeah, there wasn't. I mean,
whatsoever.
honestly,
None.
The reading of the letters was more emotional than actually seeing her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just was. There was nothing there, and then I felt like that weird flashback at the end was just like so bizarre.
Yeah,
like I might have been more in the Selleck lane if that hadn't popped up, but I didn't know what it was. It just looked so different. And I know it looked different on purpose, but nonetheless, it looked too different.
I'm going to hold off judging that too harshly until I know what the hell's going on with what Sam did over the last year.
Right. Like if that's going to come back.
Yeah.
But I have no emotional content with that lady who's Sam, the veterinarian. Like it just didn't make any sense to me. So I just, it just, that's not necessarily even anybody's fault.
Yeah.
Per se in the episode, it's just that story, that element doesn't resonate with me. Whatever. Point being, hey, in the best of baseball games with the best of batters, not every swing is a home run.
True.
So there you go.
True. Well, you know what is a home run? Our guest today.
And I bet you dollars to donuts, if you and I are anything like you and I are, we'll listen to him, and then we'll come back and go, I like the episode more.
Yeah, totally. We have one of our favorite guests. We've said it to people when they ask us who our favorite guest is.
And people say it to us on the road all the time.
It's sound impresario Michael Lawshe, returning to the podcast. He served, of course, as the supervising sound editor on all 15 seasons of the show, as well as the Winchesters and Walker. So he's in the family. And here is our conversation with Michael. Michael.
Oh my God, Michael, you're out in the woods.
I'm out in the woods. I'm in the old woods. How are you guys?
Good. And I don't know if you heard your intro, but truly wherever we go and more and more people are listening to the podcast, you are right at the top of their favorite guests every time.
Oh, you are kind.
And they name you by name. They don't say that sound guy or that guy with the great voice.
Yeah,
that's very
And when
nice.
they ask us who our favorite guest is, we always say, mention you.
You are up there
That's very sweet.
because you're the person who does magic that no one realizes they were doing the magic. And then it's like, oh, we've been leaning on this man the whole time. We did not know that.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you for doing this. And let's start with, I know you've worked with Ackles before because he directed.
Yes.
He had directed before.
Right.
But on that topic, is there anything, aside from the fact that he's obviously the one of the stars of the show, is there anything unique in the process of working with Ackles, given A, his relationship to the show, and B, given the reverse nature of he always has to start with not the first, he always is doing episode 4 or 3 first.
Right. So you actually have to start the episodes and the through line of what's going to happen in the other two. Your third episode is really setting the tone for your first 2 or 3.
Correct. It's reversed
because
a
of
little
timing.
bit. Yeah.
I did want to say it's really cool working with Jensen, no matter what, when he first started directing, and this one also, is as it is when you're directing, because you have a different perspective of having a person who's both on set and off set, as well as being able to really understand a through line, what works for actors and what do you need as you're building it, which is very different. There are a lot of directors who are directing for the whole piece, but really Jensen and a few others are directing the episode top to bottom, where even though you don't have a lot of time to run in and out of setups and doing things, it's really very different and very cool the way he's looking. He's not going for 16 hero shots. He says a couple really good ones that are interesting. And then it's about character, because as actors, you guys are about character.
Right.
Yeah.
Rob actually pointed that out in our review of it. He said, well, there's a shot that resonates in a cinematic way, and then back to business. You know what I mean? Kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We spend a lot of time. I mean, that's also in the structure of the script. We spend a lot of time in the car, a lot of time in 2 different hotel rooms, and a whole lot of time in one, pseudo Victorian house.
Right.
We spend a lot of time there
Yeah.
because we're laying a lot of story that's all in dialogue,
Right.
not really in action.
Right. So when you first read the script, what moments jumped out to you as big sound design opportunities?
The hardest ones are really place, because it says where you're going, but you don't see a lot when you say I'm going to.
Oh, Colorado and Ames, Iowa, and all that stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, but they all sound different. And one thing that came to my mind is they're both on major train lines. So I did stuff with trains to try and set place, because we weren't really positive of time of year, because it wasn't that important, but it is important to give a sense of location. Okay, I'm just going to share some sound for you kids. Okay, so we're talking trains. So if we're in Ames, Iowa, it's very, very. What's the best way I can put it? It's not a big town,
Right.
but it is right near major train lines, because that was where they were shipping cattle, they were shipping all
Right.
sorts of things. So you might have a train that's more like this. Which is going to be more of an industrial kind of sound, or maybe one of these. Just have it echoing through the distance, where instead in Boulder, we wanted it to be spookier, because you're there for a spookier time.
Wow. So is that pitched down?
No, it's all different types of trains recorded. This is coming up a mountain somewhere in the Midwest.
Wow.
Just it has a whole lot of ambience around the outside of it, which is kind of cool.
Wow, that is spookier. And those were literally laid in there in that episode.
Yes, actually, that last one certainly is. It's in toward the end toward the end of the episode.
How do you do this kind of research? I mean, this is regional train research.
The good part is, with the web, when we're doing the show, you're looking at a change of technology time too, because if you notice everybody's phones, some people have like a BlackBerry looking thing, and some of the people have this and some people have that.
Right.
But when we're doing the show, you're able to go on to like the Amtrak and train line websites and just kind of say, what's going near this, what's going that, what direction does it usually go nighttime, because it's a one-way line between point A and B until they reverse it or do turnaround. So that has something to do with it. To me, we also wanted to have a sense of heart and heartbeat. So some of the backgrounds and some of the areas we're going into the clubs and things like that, even that has a heartbeat as well as the music. Thank goodness for Jay, who scored the heck out of this thing, because there's so much slow action that the music is giving you a really good hint on what the point of view is going to be.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Hey, this is Jeffrey Dean Morgan. We are going to take a quick break.
Hey everybody, Richard Spade Jr. If you're still overpaying for wireless, it's time to say yes to saying no. At Mint Mobile, their favorite word is no. No contracts, no monthly bills, no overages, no hidden fees, no BS. Here's why I said yes to making the switch and getting premium wireless for $15 a month. For starters, you want to ditch overpriced wireless and their jaw-dropping monthly bills, unexpected overages and hidden fees. Plans at Mint Mobile start at $15 a month. That's right, $15 a month. That's like a coffee and a half. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your number along for the party. Why not, huh? Why ditch that thing? It's still working. I got Mint Mobile for my kids. Why? Because I want to control what they're doing. Yeah, I'm a controlling guy like that. They call that being a dad. And I want to be sure they're not going crazy or rogue and racking up big bills. So if I'm prepaying and I'm doing it through Mint, I know they're getting great connections. I know I can reach them when I need to. I know they're getting data when they need to. And I know that the bill is going to be exactly what the bill is because there's no jaw-dropping overages, as I said before. And the quality is great. So, are you ready to say yes to saying no? I thought so. So go make the switch at mintmobile.com/supernatural. That's mintmobile.com/supernatural. Upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent to $15 a month. Limited time new customer offer for first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
Hey, everybody. It's Rob Benedict. I want to talk to you about Quince again. Listen, the holidays are coming up. You're going to have your holiday parties. People are going to want you to get all gussied up. And you want to reach for something that you don't even have to think about. You know you look good in. Simple, easy, smart-looking clothes. Because you want to look good, you want to feel good, but you need it to be easy. So I've been buying a lot of Quince lately, I got to be honest. And this season's lineup looks pretty exciting. It's smart and easy, like $50 Mongolian cashmere sweaters that feel like an everyday luxury, and wool coats. They're equal parts stylish and durable. They're denim. I bought their jeans. Check. It nails the fit and everyday comfort, all at a fraction of what you'd expect to pay. By partnering directly with ethical factories and top artisans, this is my favorite part, Quince cuts out the middlemen to deliver premium quality at half the cost of other high-end brands. So you can get these great-looking quality pieces without the great-looking quality price tag. All right, here are my two latest Quince items. I got myself a pair of slacks, the kind of slacks that you could wear to a party, or you could also put tennis shoes on and go down to the grocery store, like casual slacks. And I like clothes that don't have, the store's insignia all over it. These are just Quince steps back and lets you look good. The other thing I bought is a short sleeve sweater shirt, and it's going to be sharp. I can't wait to put these on at some of these conventions we have coming up. Also, hot tip, hot take. Holidays meets gift giving. This place is a perfect place to go for your shopping. And they have accessories too. It's not just clothes. So check that out. Give and get timeless holiday staples that last this season with Quince. Go to quince.com/STN for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/STN. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/STN.
Hey, it's Jeffrey D. Morgan again. Welcome back to the podcast.
So what about ripping hearts out and eating?
I knew you were going to ask.
And eating the heart. I thought right away when she ate that heart, I'm like, okay, what the heck is that?
Right. In that particular case, you've got, here's some celery, for example. It's ASMR horror.
Oh my God,
It's
it's so awful.
Well, then there's, of course, the flesh eating, which is slimier.
Now, what is that?
That is a sponge, pulling like a wet sponge and pulling it back and forth, but extremely closely mic'd.
Wow.
Sometimes it's actually chicken guts, but now it's sponge because you don't want that under your fingers.
Or on your mic.
Yes. And this would be eating bones or crunching through bones.
Oh,
So awful.
gross. What is that with the bones?
Yeah, that would be like bone. So you might put pieces of that, like an impact, and then a pull and a twist of some of that crunch on it. When we're doing the heart pull out, we might do something.
Ah! What the hell?
That would be
what just happened?
That's the chest. That's the chest cavity
Oh
opening.
my God! What is that sound?
Probably wood. Probably wood in like sticks being twisted and then pitched down a little bit, mic really closely. That whole proximity effect thing we've been talking about on and on.
So can we talk about and I don't want to interrupt this process, but while we're doing this process layer by layer, and people are listening to this is podcasting. This is an audible format. It's like old timey radio. It's amazing what the brain does with the sound.
Absolutely true.
I mean, that's not even a question. It's just a statement. I mean, I'm sitting here going, it's like, it's grosser. You know, when you're a kid and they're like, put your fingers in the brains and it's like spaghetti, but it's worse because your brain just goes somewhere. There's no guardrails.
Right.
It hears that and it's like, oh my God.
You fill in everything else because watching both of your faces as we were doing this is kind of like, and the other thing is we're now, let's just say, gentlemen of a certain age where our high-end hearing is getting less over time. As musicians, you know that for sure. But women don't have that happen as quickly, even ones who play music more. So when we do playback on these episodes, that whole, what is that? That seems really gushy. To us guys, it's like, yeah, that's kind of cool. Okay, we'll pull it down a little bit. And we could pull some of that wet sand down all the way to the bottom, and the women are still hearing it even though it's not there.
Oh, wow.
Because it impressed into their brains a lot, especially like Eugenie or, as one of the writers or some of the other women who are on set. They're like, wow, that's a bit much.
Oh, wow.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So sometimes we got notes from the network notes because there were temporary effects in that were like really, really loud because the music was not all there yet. And so the heart wrench and gush was just gigantic. Please don't put in that. It's like, okay, we will be more subtle and we'll have more, more choices. But it's funny. You really get people who have an absolutely visceral attachment to sounds and things that they just don't want to hear.
Yeah, It's funny because Rob knows I don't have the world's best hearing. And so if you put me and like a young female into the mix, she'd be like, turn that down. I'm like, what? I don't even hear what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's kind of, so how do you, on that point, how do you adjust to notes from people with different hearing?
We actually, quite some time ago, when we were trying to decide what's the best way to monitor the show, we all know we now are watching it on maybe on a phone or on a laptop or on streaming or on good speakers or bad speakers or headphones or iPods or whatever they are. Each of those have different characteristics, and you can't really make everything the same and say that's going to be fine when somebody plays it straight on their phone. It's like you're going to lose 80% of the low end and mid range because it's directed for a specific kind of sound.
Right.
So we'll go through and do the big theatrical type sound playback for us and for the mix, so we know everything's there, and then play it back in near field on two good but not gigantic monitor speakers someone might have. I won't say someone might have at home, but one never knows. They're good near field speakers, and then we would cross check once in a while in format. It's like, let me just hear that on the laptop. We actually did that a few times in some shows just to give me a little piece of it. Let me play it back in the laptop speakers. What is it like? Because that's a nightmare for me working with some directors or execs who want to hear it straight from their laptop. It's like, for goodness sake, put on headphones because you're getting the rest of the ambience of the room and et cetera in there. It's not really a fair judge.
Yeah, you really can't. At a certain point, you can't please all speakers all the time.
No. But when we take a note like that from the studios, like we know what that means. The can you take that sound down? It sounds too wet. It's like, fine, we know what frequency we're talking about. We're talking about a high, mid frequency. We can dial that down. And then you still have a sense of movement without having the disgust factor that is in people's brains. Not necessarily that it is worse than anything else. If you recorded yourself brushing your teeth, you would never do it again.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's a terrible sound up close.
Right.
When you're changing frequency, is that not changing volume? If I pull down a frequency, am I not changing volume?
You're changing relative volume because you're removing a certain portion of that spectrum, like a step ladder. The stuff at the top of the steps or the high end frequency. If you pull that back, it's not going to be as high, so there isn't going to be as much volume. But we might make up for that for relative level by lifting the entire sound up without that high end frequency. So we're still filling a bandwidth and an expected fill of what that sound should be.
It's like changing an EQ setting, right?
Yeah. Like, can I jump ahead to something else? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah,
man.
Okay. At the very beginning and at the end, we're outside the club of the
strip club.
The bunny hole.
Right.
Okay. When you do an EQ or a music piece, this is a piece, it's cleared. It's something I wrote off of something years ago, but this is a really good example of taking a sound that's one way and then changing its perspective by what you think it's going to be. So if that's cool, we'll play that for you right now.
Yeah.
And then maybe adding reverb. And now it's off camera.
Yeah.
And now it's outside the club in the hall.
That's awesome.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So cool.
That's so cool. Yeah, now we're in the
man.
alley and we're just hearing it through the
Exactly.
door.
So that's more of an alley sound, and that's what we did. Is like alley is visible, camera wise, it's on camera left, so we need to push it a little left because that's where the door is, and the shot was set up. So we'll push it that way, and then sometimes we'll dial that sound back to the middle when we come back for the coverage.
Yeah, you'd have to. So you can't do that as a sharp edit, though. Like, so from your standpoint, it'd be very jarring if I was like, bang, bang. So how do you balance making that transition between perspective? If the camera is not doing a slow move that you can follow, but it's more doing an abrupt cut, how do you not be jarringly jumping around? That's
an excellent question, because that's been the problem since we started doing stereo movies, right? And let alone anything in the future. So sometimes you'll just ghost. You might say you have the sound in two different tracks. So you'll have your direct sound on one and then your reverb on another, and you can dial the reverb itself for the direction of where it's going and keep the clean sound in the middle. Kind of like, I mean, if we're talking old albums or things like that, if you're talking about the crazy mix when people first heard it for the Beatles or for Queen, of why is that stuff swapping from one side to the other and moving? But when you listen to it with your eyes closed, your whole body starts moving the direction that they want it to, let alone in movies when they started doing 5.1 and things like that, of having speakers surrounding you.
Behind you, yeah.
You've got that jar is like every time you flip an angle, you sure don't want the rainy window in the upper left-hand corner to suddenly go to the right rear and the left-hand corner and the right rear each spot, because I'll tell you that the very first mix of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade has that happening, and then they went back and rebalanced it after it came out of theaters, because they're in there with Sean Connery, and we're seeing a little tiny window way up in the upper left. And then we cut to the reverse, and then it's raining behind you, and then it's raining in front. Now, if you hear it even on the Blu-ray or hear it on stream, it stays kind of toward the middle because it's just too like, why is there water behind my head? Right. Now that's in front. Now
that would be jarring.
It's weird. You can do it with the individual pieces, but when you take the entire ambience of the sound and move it, it starts getting weird.
Yeah.
And the truth is, if it's raining outside and we're in a building, we're hearing the rain. It's not to our back right. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter there's a window there.
Right. This one I understood because we were in a castle and it's a stone. It's like you're not going to hear anything behind you, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah, and also it's not POV. You're watching a scene. You're omniscient. You're an omniscient viewer.
Right.
Right. So here's something that's a heartbeat we did for it.
There's nothing creepier than heartbeats.
Especially since it's backwards, if you listen closely.
Oh, wow.
It's backwards.
So it's just like, it's the first thing you heard and the last thing you heard, right?
So, yeah, because it's going boom, boom.
Yeah. And here's one that has a rumble beat put to it.
Yeah, things aren't going well.
No,
at
man.
This point.
Things are not going well. And here's with a voice in it. So this is what we were talking about, the voice of what that older creature would be.
That's exactly the type of thing I was talking about.
We got to get out of here.
Dude, I don't know. This is what your cardiologist hears when he puts the stethoscope up to your chest. That's what I was talking about. Like, that's exactly the kind of thing I'm saying. Like, that's almost score. I know it's not, but it is.
Exactly. Because it's leading emotional impact, and that's what you're trying to do. That's what the score is for, and that's what I think the job of, as a sound supervisor, looking at the whole picture, is how do we put those two together? Because I'll move my stuff. If the composer stuff is hitting the scene better, get rid of that. We don't need it for emotional. We don't need our stuff for emotional impact.
Right.
Or the opposite could be true every once in a while. But all the composers came up occasionally and went, you know what? Your effects are cooler. Can we just try losing the top half of the cue because we're leading the action? And that happens once in a while. We just kind of go, let's go into the action cold, quiet, and then boom, let's find a point where things come in and get harder, even though it wasn't composed that way, but that's the way we might mix it.
Right.
It's interesting too. I'm thinking like with what you just played, it's also got to match the acting, the level of where the stakes are in the. If Dean comes in and is like, "Man, it was a rough day," and you have whoom, boom, whoom, boom, it doesn't make sense. But if he's like, "Man, it was a rough day," and then you have that, then it does make sense. You know what I mean? The line reading even makes sense. You're working almost in real time with what you get from the dailies or what the guys are doing.
Very true. A good incident of that is true because in this episode we have. We're in the police station, right? And we have the police station and we know that a cop has been grabbed and he's in jail and he's talking to himself, right? Over and over again. Well, that was a good one because you guys know from shooting and you guys know sometimes 3 minutes worth of, we didn't have it because he only did certain sections of it. And so we were taking part of it and doing high, low, and moving it. That took forever to try and get those pieces to continue in the scene and build. And then we would use loop group occasionally just to have breathing along with it because he has to take a breath somewhere.
Right.
So there was never an idea of getting that guy back into a room and having him do it for 2 minutes or something?
We were talking about it and he was actually not available.
Oh, wow.
And which does happen.
Yeah.
Or the timing changed and we tried building it out of the dailies because, there might be 5 or 6 or some of the directors do more takes and you might have enough to be able to build it, but will it be right for what's close up, medium, long, and then down the hallway?
Right. So a move would be, if a director is trying to learn, before you leave that location, the interview room, wild sound of that guy doing that for a minute.
Right.
And then you have that and you build it for however you want.
Right. Or shoot that person's coverage long.
Right. But whatever it is, don't just use the snippets that you have for the scene. Yeah. Where other actors are talking over it and everything else.
I specifically thought that was really cool. I thought, wow, that guy did a great job of doing that or whatever it was. However that design turned out was really effective.
Yeah, we didn't really call him out, Rob, but he did a great job.
He did a great job. No, really, because he didn't have a lot to do.
Like, that guy was great.
It's a hard thing to do. It's like, okay, now say these things 200 times and you're going to be doing this on everybody.
Yeah.
You're not going to do it on the coverage necessarily.
But be nuts.
But be nuts and be tense.
Yeah.
And so the tension in the voice has to be right and has to continue through.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, then you asked that question earlier that there's at the end of the scene where we come back to him and he has his superhuman strength and can rip that piece of metal off the
prison bed,
prison bed. And because he's pointing at his eye.
Yeah.
Okay, we took a break a little bit. The music was there, and all he's doing is chanting. We did no sound effects at all in there because adding any more tension to that is ridiculous. Everyone is squeamish enough already that guy has that thing near his eye. We know what's going to happen. We just don't want to see it. And then the timing of the picture editorial and everything else is great because it cuts away just before you know he's going to move.
Right.
You hear the squishy stab, but the yell is quieter. That was a note in playback of we want to hear the stab, but we don't want to hear his yell be incredibly loud because it's the end of an act.
Right. Okay.
And so that was done to kind of give us a high, medium, and low feeling to that scene.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. But we did hear the flesh ripping or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we did. We heard the stab.
Awful.
The stab is louder than him yelling,
Wow.
as far as I'm
Interesting.
concerned, which is just a choice.
Right.
But that's what you're waiting for is that stab's coming, but luckily you don't see it.
Right.
And this is also one of the few episodes, speaking of stab, that we're really actively see a serious stab of the big Bowie knife at the end of the episode into our bad girl at the end.
That's right.
Right.
So that was one of those where it's like, okay, it's Jensen's knife, right?
Yeah.
So Dean's knife sounds different than Sam's knife. Cause just like doing old Westerns, the good guy's gun sounds a certain way. The bad guy's gun sounds a different way. So you know who's firing at whom, right? And that's an old thing, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
Even in the old Roy Rogers things, it's like he had a specific sound for his pistol.
Wow.
That's hilarious. I did not know that. Speaking of specific sounds, there's a really trippy flashback that Sam has at the end. Talk about the difference between design approach from present to emotional past.
Sure, when you can, if the picture has a certain look that you can follow, go with that. That picture was color. We come from a really dark scene. They're driving in a car and it's rainy and you've got all the ambience of the car moving along. And then we're going out in his flashback and we have a sense of movement sound that goes between the two. And then we're in an area where we discussed, do we want it to have birds? Do we want it to have wind? Does it want it to feel open? So we went with an open sound, but really specific. You really, really, really hear the dog's footsteps on the wooden boards
the bridge
going by out there. Yeah, on the bridge that's going across out there. Those are really comparatively loud. When we're not close to that shot, it's like, that's something that's alive and that's right there. You know that's that dog. You don't hear pant, pant, pant to the dog because it kind of gets in the way, but the feet, sense of travel or movement through it. And then we open up, Sam's looking around going, where are you? Where are you? Yelling to different locations, reverbing his voice on one shot, not another, like he's yelling farther or in between. And then we come back to him and everything kind of opens and relaxes. Even the music takes a breath of, no, it's fine here. Sit next to me. It's your birthday cake. Haven't you ever had a birthday cake? And you know by the look on Sam's face, nope.
Wow.
Not since he was, he probably never did.
Right.
Wow.
So we were stepping away from it and let Jay do the storytelling of the emotion through that, just giving a really good sense of place where instead of being in a tight car moving down the street where everything's just right next to your head and wet, to open, airy. Maybe there's a river back there. Maybe there's not. You'd have a different sort of sense of place, but everything's just a little fuzzy, right? Just visually as well.
Yeah.
So rather than adding reverb to all that, because then it becomes a dream, you're not saying that. He's having a very lucid dream.
Yeah. A thought, if you will. Not even necessarily like dream. It's a waking memory.
Right.
All those decisions, you make them, your team, meaning like the pause on the wood versus panting. Made in the field while you're doing it, going like, hey, this is the way to go with this, and then we'll see what the brass thinks. Like, how does that work?
Right. For the most part, yes. It's like what cuts through the scene and becomes more of a piece. Like the dog pants were there. We just didn't bother playing them because they don't help as much as hearing the sense of the motion of the dog. You go, oh, that dog's important.
You also think about in terms of when somebody remembers something, what sounds are they remembering?
Right.
If you're, you know what I mean? Like if you're flashing back, that might not be what sticks out to you in a memory.
Very true. Very true. It's like what sticks out to you with smell at, Thanksgiving time.
Right.
Is it the turkey? Is it the gravy? Is it, what is it?
Right.
What calls back that memory?
Right.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
And I'm going to leap into a different episode, if I may.
Sure.
And maybe we even sort of airlift this part of the conversation into our conversation about 804. But 804, Bitten.
Yeah.
Which is the found footage episode.
Yes.
Rob and I just watched that one as well. And as you were talking, it occurs to me that we would be remiss in not talking to you about 804 because it's so dramatically different for cinematography and sound design.
Right.
Comparatively. Not the Foley part of it per se, I guess, but sound design. Because there's no score. What did you contribute to that, and where did you not contribute to keep it in the found footage space?
That's a good question, because in that found footage idea, you still need a sense of place of where you are, regardless of which camera is going.
Yeah, exactly.
So including when you're moving into an interior and you stay in the interior, even though there's other cameras and they picked up and maybe there's a jump between them and it's this person's camera and that person's camera. So much of that audio, which you probably knew, is from the actual camera itself as well. So it's not necessarily the clean sound that we would get in the record. A fair amount of it is using the actual dirty sound straight from the microphones of the cameras to give it even more of a sense of movement and realism. And then we would jump back and forth, and it's like, let that bump a little bit because they bumped the side of it. It sounds real. Let it go. We would go through and be able to augment that. Like if there really was a dropout on the picture on purpose, we'd add a little sound into that to give you a transition into the next shot.
Right.
Or we would not do the big super designy effects that you might have going in and out of transitions, because it's at that point, I can't say that it's real, but it doesn't lead the cinematic world that you're in the same way.
So is it fair to say you're taking layers, you're taking the camera, the existing source material from the cameras, right?
Yep.
And you're letting that even in an edit, if they're jumping and there's a sound pop, you kind of leave that in there or don't take it all the way out because it's true to what is going on.
Right.
But there's a floor, and that's your room tone, your outdoor setting, and all the things to create there's a college campus outside or there's a town outside. All of that is you.
Right.
Right. So you're building the floor upon which all of the source camera sound is laid. Does that feel right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then we'd also made a different decision, which you both would find interesting, which is instead of trying to mix it really wide around your head and have a real sense of big space, we did that outside. But once we came inside, we kept almost everything forward into forward stereo and put very little into the surrounds. So that it feels a little claustrophobic.
Because of the cameras, or because is that, I love that design idea. Is that story driven or source material, media driven?
I think that's emotionally driven, because we really wanted there to be a difference between being outside and feeling that, we're in with them, but we're not in their shoes. You know what I mean? Is that we're in their camera, and that camera maybe picked up the big area. It was wide, but when they went inside, it became tight.
Right.
And so you're in that tightness, which ties your hands, but it also makes it much more immediate.
Almost claustrophobic.
Yeah. So there are some shots when we're in extreme close-up, we lost even anything that was stereo. As they're moving down a hallway farther, it becomes just in your nose, right up the center monitor, going forward, and then opens up into another room. So it's kind of like letting air breathe in and out when you can. It doesn't always work. Sometimes it's like, ooh, that's too wide when we stepped in there.
Right.
But we're adding a sense of rumble like we do in the normal show, to kind of hint to everybody that there's a very low end thing happening.
Right.
And so that was still there, because as if the cameras picked it up, because it's part of the supernatural environment. That's the way our world is. Whether you have a camera on it or whether you're an omniscient point of view on the outside watching, looking at an episode.
Well, like I had mentioned your sound design on the werewolf I thought was really
Oh,
great.
yeah. It's so cool. Again, there's no score.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
us hearing the nail pop out of the finger.
Yeah.
And the teeth.
Yeah.
Man, I could just listen to you talk all day, Michael. It's it's really it's all fascinating to me.
It's so fascinating to me. And by the way, again, very fascinating to the people who listen to this podcast. So we love it. That's why I wanted to get your perspective on 804 too, because that is so specific in a cinematography standpoint, but equally specific in a sound design, where it is and where it isn't. Score, leaving the camera, the sound of the hand on the camera that you hear in those situations, but also building a universe that's consistent as well.
Right.
Interesting and intricate balance.
And we did actually add, that's a good point, Richard. We added a lot of that, the handling sound. So we actually took a microphone with and without a foam filter on it and actually grabbed it and moved it real time across a couple of shots when it's really moving from side to side, so that we really had a sense of it being handled and pushed, that someone is really handling. And then so when it goes from one camera to the next, maybe that rumble stops, and then it's not on the next one because the next one's smooth.
Right. So cool. Right. So cool.
Wow.
But it was actually a very difficult episode to do for dialogue, because going back and forth between clean recording, dirty recording, how dirty do you want it? Do we dirty up the clean recording so that they all become part of a piece?
Right.
Fascinating. Yeah, I mean, like Rob, all day.
Yeah.
Robbie, all day.
All day.
I can do this.
Man, thank you so much, Michael. I hope you'll come back again. It's always
you don't have a choice. You have to. We're not asking. We're telling. We love having you, man. Thank you so much. It's so fascinating.
You guys are doing a great job, and thank you very much again.
Of course. We'll see you in the
Michael.
next one.
Okay. Safe travels.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Hey there, this is Jared Padalecki, and I hope you're enjoying the episode. But we got to pull over for a second for some messages.
You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Progressive loves to help people make smart choices. That's why they offer a tool called Auto Quote Explorer that allows you to compare your Progressive car insurance quote with rates from other companies. So you save time on the research and can enjoy savings when you choose the best rate for you. Give it a try after this episode at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. The holidays are approaching, and everyone knows that this time of year, the sooner you can get things done, the better. For both shoppers and businesses, the best time to score great deals during the holidays is during that Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. And if you have your own business, whether you've been around the block a few times or this is your first year going through the holiday sale rush, the most important thing you can have is a platform that can handle everything that's about to be thrown at you. This is a crucial time for your business and your customers. And with Shopify, you can be sure that your tools and platform are ready for anything that comes your way. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names to entrepreneurs who will be participating in their first Black Friday, Cyber Monday this year. With everything else going on, you probably don't have time to spend hours poring over every little detail in your online store. That's why Shopify's thousands of templates and tools help you streamline website creation and make sure that your site isn't just aesthetically pleasing, but functional and easy to use. Shopify's expedited checkout, Shop Pay, saves customer information and reduces hassle. And the best part is that it's been proven to boost conversions, meaning you'll see less abandoned carts and more profits. You can also stress less knowing that Shopify's award-winning customer support team is on standby 24/7 to help with any issues that arise, allowing you to get back to your business as fast as possible. This Black Friday, join the thousands of new entrepreneurs hearing for the first time with Shopify. Sign up for your free trial today at shopify.com/realm. That's shopify.com/realm. Go to shopify.com/realm and make this Black Friday one to remember.
Hey there, thanks for listening. Now, back to the episode.
Oh my God, Robbie.
So great.
So great.
Yeah.
He's so fascinating, and I love that he shows up with the sound.
Yeah, it's the best. Whenever he says, Steve, can I borrow the, screen share or whatever? I'm like, yeah, yes.
It's like Van Halen going, hey, do you mind if I plug in solo?
Exactly.
I mean, it's so cool. He takes over and he builds these sounds. It's so It's creepy.
Yeah. Really.
And he's so knowledgeable, and he can explain it so clearly that I get smarter just listening to him.
Yeah, definitely. I feel smarter just by hanging with him.
Well, that was awesome. All right.
Well, thanks again, Michael. And now we're going to take you right into something that we like to call mythology.
Mythology.
All right, let's talk about cacao.
Cacao.
The Mayan god cacao is the divine figure associated with chocolate, abundance, dance, and fertility in all the good things in ancient Mesoamerican mythology.
Dude, you got to be that guy in the lineup going like, okay, I'm a god. What do I represent? Oh, shoot. Home run.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm chocolate, abundance, dance, and fertility?
Yeah.
So wait a minute. I get to like have a bunch of stuff, dance, hump, and then eat chocolates?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm in.
Revered as a sacred gift from the gods,
Yeah, I'd say.
cacao was believed to have been discovered or brought to humans by deities and was often used in rituals, offerings, and elite ceremonies. Ooh.
So hold on, Dave. I just want to be sure I'm getting this right. I'm looking at my bio here, my assignment for the godly rituals. I'm associated with chocolate, abundance, dance, and fertility. And I get to take part in rituals, offerings, and elite ceremonies. Not like the ceremonies where everybody can be involved, but the elite ones.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is great.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take the job.
Elite ceremonies makes it sound like
things that happen in the aircraft cabin you and I are not allowed into.
Yeah, exactly. What's the supposed secret club of all the elites?
Oh, the Masons.
Masons.
Yeah.
Now I was thinking Illuminati. Anyway,
Illuminati.
The Mayans viewed cacao not just as a food, but as a bridge between mortal and divine realms. Its seeds, rich, were even used as currency and offerings to gods of rain and fertility.
Hey, Robbie, next time you loan me money, I'm going to pay you back in seeds.
You gross. In some depictions, the cacao god was portrayed as a youthful male figure emerging from a cacao pod.
Cacao! Well, Rob, now we have your attention.
Or surrounded by cacao plants.
Cacao!
Symbolizing renewal, sustenance, and the lifeblood of the earth. His worship highlights how deeply intertwined agriculture, spirituality, and daily life and the good stuff were in Mayan civilization.
I gotta tell you, I don't know much about Mayan civilization, but it sounds like they had it dialed in.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of that stuff, although in this episode they made it sound like there was a lot of torturing.
Well, I think it's some torture and some beheadings, but if that's coming at the cost of a little of abundance and
a lot of humping,
elite rituals and ceremonies and a little fertility
and humping.
Well, I heard that with my bad ear. All good stuff, buddy. All fun, all factual, but still not enough to be
considered
called a fun fact. Fun fact. Fun fact. Fun fact. This episode guest stars Alan Ackles, one of the great entertainment names of all time, by the way. Alan Ackles, people may not know this, which I find hard to believe, is the father of actor Jensen Ackles, who is one of the leads of Supernatural.
Oh.
Alan Ackles played Detective Pike, and to Rob's point earlier, there was definitely some dynamic built in there between those two that probably wasn't on the page.
Yeah.
That was really fun to watch.
Yeah. Jensen and Alan also performed together in the 2005 movie Devour.
And I also am pretty sure that I'm correct when I say they did an off-Broadway launch of the play Love Letters.
No, I don't think so.
Probably not. It was great seeing Mr. Ackles on TV. I can't not call him Mr. Ackles, by the way. Calling him Alan Ackles feels very unnatural.
No,
Mr. Ackles killed it, and he was great.
And I felt like I was in trouble when he played that character.
Oh, dude, he's such a classy guy, too, and he's such a dad in all the right ways.
Yeah.
So it was super fun seeing him in the show. By the way, just to shine a light on the fact that Jensen directed that episode, too. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
He's directing his dad. I mean, that's double whammy.
Yeah.
Sam uses the alias Detective Sambora. You might not know this, Robbie. That was a nod to the lead guitarist Richie Sambora of Bon Jovi.
I mean, that's such a given. I feel like that people should know that.
It's not even a fun fact.
No. The scene where Arthur carves out his eye was filmed, but deemed too gory for network TV.
Wow, Supernatural finally crossed that Rubicon. It took 8 seasons, but they finally did it. Congratulations. I would imagine. I think some of their stuff is so gross, and I'm shocked that it makes it to TV.
I know. Michael mentioned that at being they made a choice there, and that was probably why.
Yeah. Inspired choice. Inspired by the network saying,
Yeah.
The flashback scene in which Amelia surprises Sam with a picnic mirrors the one in Dean's dream about Lisa in season 3, episode 10, Dream a Little Dream of Me.
What does it
You
mean?
know, Mike talking about Sam had never had a cake. I missed that.
I missed it too.
I just thought that Sam was being a weirdo.
I thought the whole thing was weird. I thought, like, what does it mean? It all means something. What does it mean?
I guess it means he's never had cake.
Does it mean something?
Never had a birthday cake.
I hope it means something. If it's not leading up to something, I'll be disappointed.
Well, I mean, I think it's clearly we're going to see flashbacks. I don't think this is the only time we're going to see this flashback. That's my guess.
Is that woman a demon? Did he kill her?
No, that's the veterinarian. He was dating her.
We knew, as far as you know, it's a veterinarian. We don't know. You think that this is you think this is all above board?
Yeah.
He met the vet.
Don't you remember? He hits the dog with his car?
Yes, and he met the vet.
That's her.
And he dated her, and he decided he wanted that life. That's all it is?
Yeah,
you sure
man,
there's
I
not
think-
something else at play?
But no, maybe something comes out. But dude, that's why I think it's so freaking weird. I think it's just what looks like a drug-fueled memory flashback.
That's why I think it's all like it's Crowley or someone up to something.
It could be, but in context of what we saw, only knowing what we know, it's just a veterinarian, her dog, and her boyfriend.
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah, real weird.
Well,
All shot like it's the land of Oz.
I know.
Bright colors.
It's got to be something. It's got to be leading up to something. We'll see. Well, we'll just have to keep watching is what
We'll have
do.
to keep watching, and you know what? We will keep watching because this is what we do. We watch, and we talk to you people about what we've seen and what we think.
That's right. And in the meantime, this episode of Supernatural features Jared Padalecki as Sam Winchester and Jensen Ackles as Dean Winchester.
Guest stars include Kira Zagorski, Leanne Balaban, Patty McCormick, Mr. Alan Ackles, Brent Chapman, and Aaron Pearl.
Heartache was written by Brad Buckner and Eugenie Ross Lemming and directed by Jensen Ackles.
Editing by Don Cook. Music by Jay Greska.
Dialogue editor was Karen Foster.
Executive produced by Robert Singer and Jeremy Carver.
Supernatural was created by Eric Kripke.
The episode featured the following song, Good Love Gone Bad by Jamie Dunlop and Scott Nicoli.
This episode originally aired on October 17th, 2012.
This episode of Supernatural Then and Now was hosted and executive produced by Richard Spade Jr. and Rob Benedict.
Produced by Stephen Hine, written by Stephen Hine and Hayden Holscher.
And edited and associate produced by Trey Booty.
What's up, buddy?
Music provided by Tim Wynn.
The episode was recorded with the help of Sonic Fuel Studios.
This podcast is from Story Mill Media.
Follow the podcast on Instagram and TikTok at SPN Then and Now.
Become a member of the podcast to get early access, chat rooms with other podcast fans, and video interviews at patreon.com/SPN Then and Now.
Do you need a pee break?
Nah. We need Steve Hine to continue to be able to live like a pimp. And there's no way to do that without Patreon.
Well, without the Patreon, he couldn't make his car go up and down like that.
And that sort of translucent purple spray paint ain't going to put itself on the car, you know?
No, and that subwoofer isn't going to make that boom.
Now that we've said that, should we get into the heart and soul of what we do, which is step one, summarize the episode. Were you jealous to find out that Paul got an organ?
Nope. No, sir. Not going to fall for that one.
Let's take a stretch break after the interview.
After the after interview. Michael.
After the
Real quick, before you get into the heart and soul of the episode,
Yeah.
What are you going to do with the Hunt for Red October poster that's propped up behind you?
If you need it, it has some sun damage, but otherwise it's
Are you
fine.
are you getting rid of your Hunt for Red October?
No, not
I was going to say, come on.
If you need it, we can talk.
This is our favorite part about having you on is you bring stuff.
And you're not talking about emotional baggage. You mean he brings...
Well,
There's always that.
clock in, Steve.
Story Mill Media.
If we knew more about our sleep, what would we do differently? Would we go to bed at a consistent time or take steps to reduce interruptions to our sleep? With the all-new Sleep Score, Apple Watch measures your bedtime consistency, interruptions, and sleep duration. Then, Every morning, it combines these factors into an easy-to-understand score from 1 to 100. So you'll know how to take the quality of your sleep from good to excellent. Introducing the new Sleep Score on Apple Watch. iPhone 11 or later required.
This podcast is dedicated to my younger self because she really needed it. She couldn't keep a man or a job. Welcome to Broco Therapy. I'm your host, Stephanie Macon.
I'm your co-host, Rose McAleese.
Every week we dive into dating, sex, and relationships.
Who doesn't want best friend kind of deep conversations?
It's about creating a safe space and just having a good time while listening and also crying a little bit.
I think there's nothing better than listening to a podcast and crying.
Yes.
That's how all podcasts should be, is you crying silently to yourself.
And that's on therapy. And I just want to say that we are not professionals, but we bring professionals on the pod to therapize us, to give us some advice. Listen to Broco Therapy wherever you love to listen to podcasts, and head to brocotherapy.com for all the info and the links. Therapy is too expensive, but this podcast isn't. Bro Therapy.